So we are live once again. Once again, we are live. We are live once again. We are live once again, man. As usual, man, I'm having a good day. As I say, man, every day for me above ground is a win. Every day above ground for me is a win. Listen, man, we have a special guest today. We do have a special guest today, man. Got a treat for y'all. We got a special guest today. As you enter the building, you enter the room, go ahead up the chat. Let me know you in the building. As you enter this live, hit up the chat. Let me know you in the building. As you enter the building, go ahead up the chat. Let me know you in the house. I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to get into the building. I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes. I'm giving y'all a few minutes to get into the building. Let me know you in the building. As y'all enter the live, go ahead up the chat. Let me know you in the building. As you enter the live, hit up the chat. I want y'all to welcome a special guest. I got a special guest. He'll be entering soon. I got a special guest. He will be entering soon. I want to thank y'all, man, for the continued support. Y'all have been nothing but amazing. Y'all have been nothing but amazing. I appreciate the continued support. But as I say, man, today we have a special guest. As usual, I'm gonna give y'all time to go ahead and log in, wake up. I know it's the weekend. Some of y'all sleep, but guess what? We got to get up and get this breakfast. We got to get up and get this breakfast, man. So make sure you get up, log in. I did not add a poll. You know, I usually do a poll. I did not add a poll, so please forgive me for that. But we'll be back on track, man. Thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for the continued support. As I say, I hope y'all having a good day. I'm having an excellent day. Every day above ground for me is a good day. Every day above ground for me is a good day. So I'm thankful as usual. As I said, we got a special guest today. We got a special guest. You know, he'll be coming on stage in a few minutes. We got a special guest, and he's going to, you know, share some positive, inspirational information. Caroline said, hi, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Yes, Caroline, I'm having a wonderful day. Same to you. I hope you're having a wonderful day as well. Man, we woke up. And as I always say, every day for me above ground is a win. Every day for me above ground is a win. Man, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Carolyn Brown is in the building. Appreciate you, Carolyn. I want to thank everybody who's coming in, who stopped in. Listen, man, make sure you like the video. If you have not done it, be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Make sure you like the video. As I said, we got a special guest coming in. Give them a few minutes to go ahead and log in and get situated. But I thank y'all, man. I thank y'all. It's hot. This whole week has been hot, man. So I want to, encourage y'all to stay hydrated. For me, I'm doing that H2O. Y'all drink whatever you drink, but make sure you got some fluids in your body. I'm drinking that H2O. Make sure you got some fluids in your body. Let me go and drink, man, because like I said, it's hot. I know it's early, but it's going to be hot today again, man. So depends on where you at in the United States, but it's a hot day. So I thank y'all, man, for the continued support. Thank you for y'all patience, man. As I said, we got a special guest. It's taking him a few minutes to get on, but he will be coming. Until then, man, y'all keep your head above ground. You know, there's a lot going on in our world, in this country. Listen, man, there's a lot going on in our world, in our country. With no further ado, man, with no further ado, let me welcome my brother, JayFlow. Let me put him up on the screen. My brother, good morning.
Good morning, man. What's going on, y'all? I said, Jeff, and I'm up. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Marky B's
Yes, sir.
perspective, man. I'm super duper excited to be here. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, man. And I'm looking forward to this conversation today, man. God is amazing. The sun is shining.
Appreciate you. Hold on, let me adjust. Give me a minute. Let me adjust this speaker. Hold on for 1 minute. Audio. Go ahead, talk so I make sure the audio is right.
Mic
Go
check
ahead, speak, my
2 1
brother.
2. Check 1 2 1 2.
Give me 1 more minute. I should have had this done. Audio. Talk to me.
Man, you know, I woke up this morning, man. I'm blessed, alive, breathing, and winning, man. I'm blessed, man. Another day, another opportunity to be better, wiser, and stronger. Feeling good.
You know what? Go ahead, talk again. I'm sorry.
check 1 2 1 2. Good morning.
What is? Let me see. Audio.
Check.
There I go.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah,
it's
and I
all
know
good.
your
It's all
time is.
good.
Yeah, I know your time is precious. But what's good, man? Good morning, first of all. And I saw your morning inspiration, your motivation. That's one thing that caught my eye about you. You know how you able to get up. And I've been seeing it. I mean, a while back, I've been seeing you. You know, like a couple posts and all that. Um, Before we get into anything, I want you to introduce yourself, Jason. We're gonna start with who is Jason and where you from. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, good morning, everybody. Once again, my name is Jason Borsico. I'm from Hyattsville, Maryland. I live in Prince George's County, Maryland 301. Like I said before, podcaster, motivational speaker, content creator. I have my own brand called Grind Hard, Dream Big. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. Where we empower youth through positive words and positive actions, focusing on our middle schoolers and our high schoolers, and just giving them the tools that they need. Being who I needed when I was younger, but most importantly, being who God called me to be.
Right. That's what's up. I heard you saying being you doing what you felt like you should have got back in the day. But I'm still gonna ask the question, what motivated you to reach out and want to help other people? Because we live in a selfish world, right? People is about me, I. And you spoke about that this morning. But tell the world, man, what motivated you to
What motivates
want to
me
help
really
others?
is what really motivates me is God, family, and support system. They keep me going. Um, People can ask you what, people can ask you when, people can ask you how, but they're my why.
Right.
And every single day, I have the opportunity to use the gift that God gave me. So because of that, I take heed to that and realize that the motivation is not only for myself, but it's for other people. You know, when you are in a world, like you said, where people want to be selfish, you counter that by being selfless. You know, you focus on the things that you could control, focus on the things that you have, and just showing gratitude and just having a positive mindset, the way that you think, and all of that. So that's what really motivates me and what really keeps me going.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate you, man. And I know like dealing with youth, but also adults too, man. You know, because I had my experience dealing with the youth, and some people you always get the question, man, they ain't listening. Why you even doing it? You know what I'm saying? You wasting your breath on them young boys or whatever. So let us know why are you discouraged sometimes, or tell me about that. What's your thoughts
Um,
on that?
so I feel like being a millennial is it's cool, it's different. Like I said, I've always had the foundation from my mom and my dad, so shout outs to them. Shout outs to, like I said, my aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, brother, sister, cousins, the whole entire family. I was just always big on family, and in the neighborhood, I always had that village, that support system. And what I see now, the youth may not have it. They may need guidance and things like that. So just meeting them where they are, just having a conversation with them, meeting them where they are, and taking them where they deserve is so important. So getting them to open up, talk about their day, talk about their emotions, things like that. It can be a struggle at times,
Yeah.
but you just have to think about it. And I just tell myself, Rome wasn't built in a day. I
Right.
can't tell them, one thing and it's like, okay, I expect them to do it tomorrow. Like, no, over time it's going to register. Over time it's going to make sense. You just have to give yourself grace and be patient throughout the process. So, being patient, having empathy, being transparent, being vulnerable, being open, being honest, and that's why the youth, they respect me, they trust me, and I trust them, and I'm fully vested in them too.
That's what's up. Listen, man, I know about it. I'm gonna go back to even my time, like back in the day, man. If the old folks would have judged me based on when they was talking to me back then, they would have said he's hopeless. Because at that time I wasn't prepared mentally, spiritually, or otherwise to take that information. But what I did, I stored it in the back of my mind and my heart because when I found myself in a bad way, I was able to recall some of the good stuff that they said to me. So JayFlow, I want to give you big shout outs. I'm gonna let you tell us about the name JayFlow and why did you choose that name and all that. But I want to say never give up on the youth. And I got a surprise for you in a minute, but go ahead and answer that
Oh
question.
yeah, for sure. So like I said, my name is Jason Borsico. The J Flow is interesting because, like I said, I love doing poetry. I always find myself writing. So at the age of 16, I would say like just like going to the studio or just experimenting with music. It was just like okay, I always found myself freestyling. So because I was doing that, it was just like okay, Jason, but it's like J for short, and then oh yeah, you know what? He got a little flow. He can actually
Okay.
rap. So
Yeah.
I put that together, and it was just like J Flow, and it's stuck ever since. Ever since then. So
Man, that's
yeah,
good. I love the name. I love the hustle. I love the grind. I love all that. That's why reached out to you. And big respect to how you responded back, man. Because I think we
for
need
sure.
each other. Young help the old, vice versa. We need to work with each other, man, instead of having that stigma. As soon as we see each other, we sizing them up. Yeah, I bust him in his head. You know what I'm saying? Instead of it being love, it's otherwise.
Yeah,
So I
for
want to
sure.
thank you for that. But I got a treat for you. I want to show you this, and you let me know if you remember this at all. Let me show you this, my brother.
Buddha. What's going on, Juco?
To God be the glory, to God be the honor. I said you up and I'm up. What's going on, y'all? It's JayFlow reporting live from Charles Herbert Flowers High School, my alma mater. I'm super duper excited to be a part of this event today. Shout outs to We Fight Foundation. Shout outs to Rally Up Magazine. About to speak on mental health and suicide prevention. As y'all can see right here, youth suicide prevention event is going down. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. Let's get it, let's get it, let's
Let's
go.
go. So I'm gonna stop that right there. Talk about that. What was that day? What was you feeling? What was going on that day, man?
Man, first things first, man. Shout outs to Charles Herbert Flowers High School, man.
Okay.
That's the high school where I learned to be the man that I am today. Really, I learned a lot about myself in high school. The ins and outs, the grind, all of those things, and it has a special place in my heart. So that was actually the very first time that I was invited to do something, at my alma mater. So I was like, "Yo, okay, this is dope. This is different." So just talking to the, community and school and the students there, everybody that was there at that event, it was monumental for me. It felt like it was something that I knocked off my bucket list and I never imagined, but God had prepared me for that particular moment, and it was very fruitful, man. It was very receptive, and I'm still at awe to this day. So it was definitely dope, man, for sure.
I want to thank you, man, for your community work. You know, because sometimes we don't get the flowers or the praise. Not that you're looking for that, but you got to get that because that can be your fuel to keep on going, man. That's a
For sure.
hard work working with youth. I even worked inside a facility. And mind you, I've been in prison. And I remember one day a student asked me, hey, how you able to work with kids? Because they know my story. You know, I got a little book or whatever. So they know my story. And they was like, how you get, and it hit me because I never thought about it. And I said, I am blessed. Even though in them facilities, man, they pay you like they don't play you good and all that. But sometimes it's good to get your flowers, man, because what that does, it gives you motivation to keep on going for the next day. Because guess what? It's somebody that need to hear you, man. Somebody
For
need to
sure.
see you out there.
For
But go
sure.
ahead. I know you was about to say something. Yeah.
Oh no, for sure, no, and like I said, it's the story, the story and how you tell it, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, I tell the kids all the time, I wasn't the 4.0 student, I wasn't the 3.5 student. I knew I had to do what I had to do, but at the same time, learning those life skills and understanding that support and realizing that people see potential in you. My guidance counselor saw things back then. My mom saw me speaking on stages ever since I was a kid, like a baby. So it was things that my parents saw, things that my neighbors saw, things that my guidance counselor saw, my college professor saw. So they saw a lot of potential in me, and now seeing it full circle and walking into it and embracing it. Vice versa with the youth, I see a lot of potential in them. So just reminding them of that potential and challenging them to build their character and overcome adversity. Because a lot of the kids, they're inner city youth. They're dealing with a lot. They're dealing with social media. They're dealing with peer pressure. All of these things. I'm like, look, man, Jay been here. Jay done dealt with that before. And there's different ways you can navigate it. So I tell the kids all the time, listen to understand as opposed to reply. Know your why, because people will ask you all other questions like what, who, where, or when, and just have that support system. Your circle is so important. Who you hang around is so important. What you tell yourself is important. If you journal every day, like that's important. And just take the small steps because they're gonna lead the big
You said a lot of stuff, and I don't want to just fly past some of that.
ones. Nah,
You
you good?
said
Go ahead, man.
you said what you tell yourself is important. I think that need to be stood out, and I want you to elaborate a little bit more on that because we say a lot of things. Young people, old people, we say some things, some stuff we mean, some stuff we don't mean. Express a little bit more. Why is it important for us to watch what we say and understand that words have power? Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
mean, like you were saying, words have power. I mean, what you tell yourself. I mean, if you're a winner, like I said, you gotta assert that with yourself. You gotta be your biggest fan. At times, like you said, sometimes we kind of reach for or ask for permission from other people, but it's like, yo, okay, go ahead and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing that you do well, go ahead and do that. If you inspire, go ahead and inspire. If you want to have that business, you do that business. But what you tell yourself is so important. So it's how you see yourself. The toughest conversation I think is the one when you look in the mirror and you're like, all right, who am I? Do I love who I become? Or do I love who I'm becoming? And things of that nature. So like I'm heavy on affirmations. So that's why I tell people all the time, you're dope, you're a vibe, you're amazing. You are, you're becoming, the best version of yourself. You realize, reading was my favorite subject. So that's why I put it down that way where it's like, you were, that's past tense, you are present tense, and you're becoming what's your future tense, so and then you're dope, you're a vibe, you're amazing. You gotta find words to, describe yourself, all the adjectives in the world, you know, and holding on to your imagination as well. So, those things are so vital, those things are so important. And I believe that people need to hear that more often, words of encouragement, knowing that, there are somebody in this world because, like you said earlier, society, the world, it could get scary, it could get wicked, things like that. But if they have things that they can hold on to, people that they can have these conversations with, a safe space for themselves, they'll be able to navigate and pursue their dreams and their goals and whatever they want to accomplish.
That's what's up. Appreciate that. Real quick, I want to just say what's up to somebody in the chat. No ego, because it's going to be people checking in and checking out. Most people don't stay the whole time, but we also benefit because we do replays. So don't worry about numbers. We don't think about numbers. around here. We just put the product out and you get it. You know, it is what it is. And hopefully the Most High will help us through. You see what I'm saying? You can't do something and say, predict the outcome. You just do it from the heart, and, you know, the rest is on the Most High. You know, you can put it out, you can water it and all that good stuff. You know, I remember I was in a garden program, and you can do your very best, and it might not, you might not get the product. We was growing watermelon and all that kind of stuff. And then sometimes you might have budded, but the soil or the Most High does the rest and allow it to sprout. So, but all what you can do is do your best. Thank you, No Ego. If you're still in the house, appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. We got the brother JayFlow. He's from the Baltimore, Maryland area. And I wanted to say this too, JayFlow. I currently live in Alabama, the dirty South. You hear me? I was born and raised in Wilmington, Delaware. Now, we're not too far from you. I done been to the Baltimore Aquarium. In high school, we used to go to trips down to Baltimore and DC. I even know about the L boat back in the day. I don't know if you know about the L boat.
No, that was probably before my time. You know, I'm out
Okay.
Prince George's County, man. So
Okay,
yeah, Baltimore's
it's not a boat now.
Yeah.
Let me get your mind right on it. It's not an actual boat, but it was in DC and Baltimore area, because you know y'all so close to each other.
Yeah,
But,
PG, like we right there in the middle for sure.
But the area like Baltimore, them row houses, that's the kind of city I came up. And it's kind of just as dangerous as the city of Baltimore. We like 30 minutes from Philly. So that was our circle. We're closer to New Jersey and Philadelphia because they right there. But sometimes we take that hour-and-a-half trip south to Baltimore or DC. But what was your experiences as a youth coming up? Like, what were some of the challenges that you may have had coming up in Maryland?
PG County, man, the DMV, there's no place like it. So for me, I would say my challenges, you know, I was hard-headed. I didn't really like to listen like that. Like I said, I love reading, I love writing. My struggle was geometry, because I wasn't really heavy on angles and formulas and things like that. I really like 3.14 pi radius squared, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But the reason being is because, like I said, I was stuck on my own angle of life. And geometry really challenged me to see perspective from others, you know, like I said, and listening to understand as opposed to reply, being present in the classroom, taking yourself serious. You know, you always want to fit in. So I always felt like, okay, well, let me go ahead and fit in. Let me go ahead and do what the other people do. So, you know, I was a follower at first, but I realized that when you follow a lot, you tend to lose yourself in the process. So I'd say about my junior year in high school, that's when I really started like owning in on like poetry, creative writing, finding outlets that really, you know, I really liked as far as like creative expression and things like that, and definitely media and production. And then from there, I just realized that, okay, this is my thing. And graduated from Charles Herbert Flowers High School, then went to Bowie State University, got my degree in broadcast journalism, and realized like, once you're yourself, man, the right people will come. So it's views, it's not about likes, it's not about wants, it's about the needs and the love, and really doing that thing that you was called to do and doing it in a way only you could do it. So once I embraced that, I realized like, all right, it's on.
That's what's up. That's what's up. First of all, congratulations. I'm gonna congratulate from high school graduation, man, because in some of our communities, high school graduation is a challenge. You see what I'm saying? Because some people, man, have gone astray or even going to lockup during high school years. So first of all, I'm gonna congratulate the high school graduation. Then the college. You said in broadcasting, that's your degree? Did you say your degree is in broadcasting? Can you hear me? JayFlow.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Okay. So your degree in college was broadcasting, right? JayFlow, you with me?
My degree was in broadcast journalism.
Journalism, yeah, broadcast journalism. So congratulations on that. And I seen you did a lot of work. I saw the flyer when you was going to take 60 kids to what's that, Dave and Buster's. You was going to take 60 kids to Dave and Buster's. You with me? You was gonna take 60 kids to Dave and Buster's. JayFlow, you was gonna take 60 kids to Dave and Buster's. Are you hearing me? Think we
Yeah, I
having
get
some
you.
type of
I get you.
okay. So how did that trip go?
Yeah,
I know
some
you was gonna
technical
take
difficulties, but I get you.
you was gonna take 60 kids to Dave and Buster's. Tell me about that. 60 kids. I saw a flyer. Were you able to do it? How many did you take?
So we're actually currently still raising funds right now for the Dave and Buster's. So we've done so our first. This will be our 5th annual. So shout outs to Miss Kimberly Marshall. Shout outs to Reality Check Mentoring. Those are my community partners. The initiative actually started with myself and Miss Kimberly Marshall, Dare to Be Different mentoring organization. And what we decided to do was partner together. So year 1, we took about 10 kids. Year 2, we took about 20. Year 3 was about 35. Year 4 was about 45. So now we continue to, increase the numbers. And what we realize is it's a safe space for the kids. It's kind of like a end of the year field trip for the students as well, celebrating their school year and just wanting to love on them and pour into them. So, they get to play games, they get to eat, they get to build community. They get an SEL lesson as well, as far as like social emotional learning, and we connect them with mentors as well. So like, it's a good time. And like I said, so currently what we're doing now is we're still raising funds. So if anyone wants to donate, they can. They will be able to cash app, grind hard, dream big.
Are you able to type that in there?
Yes, I can type it in the chat.
Type it in so that at least be on the playback. It'll be in the chat.
Okay, no problem. I'm doing that right now. So you, like I said, guys, you guys can cash app, grind hard, dream big. $40 actually sponsors a student.
So
And yes.
how do you select? Who do you choose? Is it just the ones you work with, or how do you select the students who's going on this trip?
So we also have a teen leadership program that we do Saturdays at Glen Alden Library, and the students that do attend that all 8 sessions, we sponsor them as well. So we have a mix of high school students and a mix of middle school students. So all grade levels from 6th to 7th to 8th to 9th, 10th, 11th, and even our seniors.
I want to congratulate you on that, man, because that's big, man. Anytime you helping others, especially our young people, man, because remember this, some of our young people are at a crossroad. They decide whether they're going to do this big lick or commit this big crime or make this bad decision. So when we help them children, we never know how many lives we change. So I want to commend you. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
I appreciate you, man.
So you do your morning inspiration, and guess what? Young people can see it, old people can see it, different people see that. What started you on doing that? What made you say, okay, you might have did it once, but what made you continue or want to even do that? Because it seems like you do it every day. Is it Monday through Friday or 7 days a week? Talk about that.
It's really 7 days a week, man. It started July 5th, 2020. Once I started, I was like, man, look, I'm not gonna go back. I went on live with one of my friends. Shout out to Julius. We were just talking about like mental health and stuff, and it was just a check-in. And then from there, I was just like, all right, well, hey, I'm gonna just start doing motivational videos. And once I started doing them, I just never stopped. The videos at first were like maybe a minute long, things like that. And then, of course, like with the reels, I had to adapt and adjust. So now I got to cut a minute down to like 15, 20 seconds. Right. So, I mean, that was kind of hard too. I'm not going to lie. Okay. But when I realized the consistency, I just felt like this was heavy on my heart. This is what I wanted to say. And just sharing that on the platform and just realizing that it can help not only myself, but it can help other people. And I realized that, people were just like, yo, this is dope. Thank you for that word. Thank you for the words of encouragement. Rather if it's a video I posted, today or yesterday or weeks before, anything I feel is vital, something that, people could have or go to just as a reminder of walking into your purpose. And then, like I said, it started the podcast November 6th, 2020. And then we didn't look back. So if I didn't do the videos, like the motivational videos, the podcast wouldn't happen. And then if I didn't do the podcast, then of course the youth events and all of this wouldn't happen. So God is, steering every vehicle and it's like, yo, hop in the car and drive. Like,
Right. Right.
So I'm just like, all right, man, look, I'll be obedient. Let me just drive.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Like I said, I try to check in with your morning inspirations as often as I can. I try to at least like it if I don't comment, but most of the time I try to comment as well. And you spoke about your podcast. I've been seeing some of your episodes. Talk about that. Talk about your podcast, and then we'll go from that.
Yeah. So grind hard, dream big, man. Literally, the harder you grind, the bigger you dream. For me, the reason why I started the podcast November 6th, 2020, shout outs to V and Steven. We were working together, and he was like, bro, I think that you should start a podcast. And I was like, wait, what? He's like, yo, you should start a podcast. I got a studio, I got a space, X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, all right, boom. It's November 6th. We go into this news casting spot. So shout outs to Uncensored Network. That was where I shot, majority of my first episodes at. Went in there, no script, no nothing. Just had a guest, and we were just sitting there talking about health and wellness. It just flowed automatically, and then he was like, yo, this was good. Like, bro, like, you was prepping. Like, what did you do? And then from that moment on, one guest led to another, into another. So then, interviewing business owners, people that I knew, people I went to school with, people that, I've seen literally put in a lot of work, things like that. So I focused on the positivity, because like I said, when you watch the news, you see a lot of negative. When you watch CNN, ABC, NBC, whatever your local news story is, you don't really hear positive things for African American people. So I didn't really see myself in the news. And because I didn't see myself in the news, I was like, okay, so how could we take the negative and turn it into a positive? Okay, grind hard, dream big, let's do this. And once I did it, every single conversation, every single guest I've had, I don't even know how many episodes I have. I think it's over 100. I don't even really keep count. I just keep going. And the people on there, they're like, yo, man, this felt so therapeutic, just to talk about, just to share my story. And I feel like a lot of us have stories. It's just that we don't have the platforms to share it. And I'm just blessed that God has invested in me and allowed me to, carry on, grind hard, dream big, and give a platform and give an opportunity to those that want to share their story and help other people. Because I feel like with podcasting, it's a way that we can educate ourselves, stay motivated, stay inspired, and most importantly, learn from each other.
That's what's up. So with that grind hard, dream big brand, I'm gonna call it a brand. That's the title. That is the title of the podcast, correct?
Yes, it is.
How often do you is it once a week? How many, like an episode? How often do you release an episode?
So I drop every Monday. Every Monday. I told myself like, yeah, every Monday, 7 a.m. You can go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and that's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see the motivational content there, from the speaking to everything else like that. So anything that's grind hard, dream big, anything that we put out, definitely on that channel. So the podcast.
Make sure you type your podcast in the description because people will see it on the playback. So put that information. Also put that you drop it every Monday. You drop a new episode every Monday. And I see in the studio. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So and I drop at 7 in the morning. When I see that motivation on Instagram, I try to time it the same way. So it's like, yo, if I say something, that's cool. And then it's like, yo, you can watch the podcast as well. And, we still got, plenty of episodes that, people could go back and watch and like, comment, and subscribe. So definitely, with grind hard, dream big, it's a beautiful thing.
After you type that in, also type the name of your YouTube channel.
Got you.
Separately, like hit enter on that one and then type in the name of your YouTube channel.
Got you.
But is it coming in though? Because I don't see it on the screen. Anything that
I'm about to put it there now.
Okay.
Oh, why is that?
Yeah, but you're doing great work, man. You're doing amazing work, man. And we need to hear more of these stories. And that's why I was, hyped. I was hyped to get you on, man. I'm like, yo, what's up? And it's so crazy. We don't even know each other. You hit me back and was like, yo, yeah, you know, I do it. And we found a time and a date and time that was conducive for both of us. And you also got something else going on today because we kind of had to change our time. So instead of rescheduling, we went early. Right?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, with my, you know, they playing basketball today, so I got to go ahead and support my youngins, man. You know,
Okay.
we're playing basketball today, so I'm excited.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So you are the coach, or what's your role with them?
Oh, so I coach with them, man, and like I said, they believe in me. So we've been playing basketball for like a year now. So just to see them grow, it's been a dope
That's
thing.
what's up.
So I've been you know, excited about that.
Did you put it in? Because I still don't see it on my screen unless I got to refresh it.
I think it's probably on my end. It's probably something on my end because I was trying to actually link the channel, but I'm having some technical difficulties on my side.
Okay. Don't worry about it. It's good. Because you still just speak it out and they can still hear it. Go ahead, tell them about
yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, so if you go to the YouTube and you type in Grind Hard Dream Big podcast, you'll see it. And it's like I said, it's a blue logo. You'll see a microphone over top. It's black,
right,
blue and white.
Hey, hold on. I see what you did. You send it through a personal chat. Is it an option for you to send it? It's a private chat, and that's where it's at. Is it an option to do?
Yeah, I went to comments. Yeah, I went to public, and then when I hit join, I tried to hit connect, and then when I hit connect, for some reason it was I tried to hit connect, and then it wasn't allowing me to continue for some reason. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out now.
Okay. That's okay. Stuff like that happens. You know, even after this one, we might.
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, but right now we got JayFlow. What he's an inspirational speaker, motivational speaker. He worked with junior high and high school students, very encouraging. He also does morning motivation on like Instagram. And every morning he has, you know, very inspirational, motivational comments for anybody. This morning he spoke about, he said, stop being selfish and start being selfless. Meaning don't think about yourself all the time. Think about what you can do for others and how you can help others. And I'm not suggesting for anybody to be a fool and just go give. That's not what I'm talking about. But he's talking about stop being selfish, make better decisions. You know, that's what he's talking about. He's not talking about just go be a fool and give all your money away. He's talking about being responsible, being a grown man, and making selfless decisions, you know, in order to help other people. Man, I want to thank y'all for the continued support. Thank you for the continued support. He's not gone. He had to step away for a minute, but he's still with us. His name is JayFlow. He's from the Baltimore, Maryland area, outside of Baltimore, Maryland. So that's where he at. If you got any questions for him, make sure you type it in the comments section. If you got any questions, thoughts, or comments, make sure you type that in the comments section. He'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. If you got any questions for him, make sure you type that in the comments section. You got any questions for JayFlow, make sure you type that in the comments section. He had to step away for a minute, but as I said, he will be back. He will be back shortly. He just had to step away for a minute, you know. And this is Mark B's perspective. Y'all know how I do it. Y'all, you know, I'm about positivity. I'm about growth and development. Here go my brothers.
Sorry about that,
you,
y'all.
man. Yeah, no appreciate you. You all good?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm all good, man. Yeah, I had to make sure because, you know, I had to go, you know, like I said, make sure that my youngest is straight. So, like I said.
Okay. That's what's up. See, that's what it's about. And I was just telling them about your inspiration this morning. And the part that stood out, you said, stop being selfish and start being selfless. Explain what you said, because I gave my spin on it, but I want you, because you said it. So you let us know what you was trying to say in that.
When you think about yourself, I is just one person, and then we is plural, so that's togetherness. And I feel like with everything that's going on in the world, it's better to be together. Like, you're not alone in any of this. So because of that, it's like, okay, now you got to focus on those things that are important to you and those things that matter. So we can always think about pride and ego, and that's a selfish matter. But when we look at, longevity and just, where we are, how we're trying to be better, be wiser, be stronger, how do we do that? We look ourselves in the equation and how we can help. So I always tell people to be grateful, have, have the gratitude, have the attitude to be better, be wiser, be stronger.
So being in this work, and when I say this work, I'm talking about community work. We're dealing with our youth, right? We know it comes with challenges. Have you ever lost anybody, whether it was temporarily or permanently, whether it was through prison, through bad decisions, through the worst case scenario? Have you ever lost somebody? Let me know in this field.
So in the youth field, no, I haven't. Like I said, lost a youth. I know that, like I said, a student that I had, you know, helped and worked, one of them, but that was like years ago. I would say like maybe 2 years ago. But it's tough. I would just say maybe one, and how it made me feel is just it just reminded me to go harder. Like I said, just to go harder, to put the resources in place to make sure that they have everything that they need right away. So, those are different things that I feel like are, essential.
Okay, that's what's up. Let us know about the future. Moving forward, what you got going on? I know you still said you're working on taking the 60 kids or how many ever kids to Dave and Buster's, and you said this is the 5th year. Also, let us know about that and everything else that you got coming in the future.
Yeah, so we have our Dave and Buster's event. That is June 21st. And that's going to be in the Capitol Heights location. So there to be different reality check mentoring, grind hard, dream big. We all came together once again to have our Dave and Buster's extravaganza for our middle school and high school students. So we'll be celebrating them at the end of the year. So like I said, for those that want to donate, you could cash app grind hard, dream big, $40 sponsors a student. We have that. Then we also have our backpack initiative that's going to be happening in August. The date is to be announced, so be on the lookout for that. Grind Hard Dream Big podcast episodes and content dropping daily, and yeah, we're super duper excited. If you guys want to support the movement, you guys can cash app any donations that you want. We have a lot of youth initiatives going on, youth programming. We currently have our teen leadership program that we're doing at Glen Arden Library. So shout outs to Glen Arden Library in Prince George's County for allowing us to, just be in a space and teach these kids different things. So they've learned about mental health, they've learned about public speaking, social advocacy, money management, creative writing, film and photography, and now they'll be learning about LLCs and business, and then having a community conversation. And the reason why we have this programming is because we want to teach the kids life skills in addition to the classes that they take, but realizing that those life skills are so vital and important for them to be better, for them to be wiser, for them to be stronger, for them to be successful in the real world.
This is the last thing we're going to touch on. Somewhere in your conversation earlier, I think you kind of alluded to some of the things, something that I want to ask you, and what that is self-esteem, or how you felt about yourself, or how students feel about themselves, and how that can affect the decisions that they make. Because let me just say this part real quick, like if I had low self-esteem, I'm gonna just go and confess that. And when I look back, that was part of why I made some of the stupid decisions that I made. That's why I took a lot of the risks with my life that I did. But talk about that, about self-concept or self-esteem, or how you feel about yourself, and the importance importance of that?
Self-esteem is very, very important. Like I said, so I think when you have a good thing going on, you just work towards it, and then as you continue to work towards it, you build the confidence in yourself, and you realize, okay, I'm a winner. You know, some days you're gonna feel like I ain't doing enough, and that's what I felt sometimes. Like, man, I ain't doing enough, or I can always do more. But I'm that type of person that I strive to be a perfectionist, and I realize, like, no, I'm human. I make mistakes. I fall. I'm gonna get back up. We all human. We make mistakes. We gonna get back up. But it's how we get back up. It's how we respond. How do we learn from the lesson? What is being taught to us. So I think that just taking that and realizing that as long as you're making strides, as long as you're making progression towards whatever it is that you want to accomplish, then you could be the best person that you want to be, and you could do whatever you set your mind to do.
Okay. I think they're gone, but earlier we had a guest by the name of Carolyn, and it said, if you could say anything to the world, I don't know if they was asking me or you, but I would love for you to answer this question. It said, if you could say anything to the world, what would you say?
Um, I would just tell everybody in the world right now, your past has absolutely nothing new to say. You're dope. You're a vibe. You're amazing. You were, you are, you're becoming the best version of yourself. And focus on the good things in life, because when you focus on the good only gets better. So don't be afraid to recharge. Don't be afraid to revamp. Don't be afraid to refocus. And just realize that there's somebody that's depending on you, and that's rooting for you, and that wants you to win. And in order to be a superhero to others, you got to be a superhero to yourself.
Very good, powerful stuff. I want to say to you, man, if I had a bouquet of flowers, not on that tip, but I would give you your flowers right now because you're doing an amazing job, man. I appreciate you. It seemed like most of the meaningful stuff in our country doesn't get the glory. Like, you can make more being an NBA player than being a teacher. So that's the kind of perspective where I'm coming from. And what you're doing needs more praise, not for the sake of praise, but it needs more acknowledgement, first of all, to keep you motivated, to keep you fueled, to continue to do what you're doing. You see what I'm saying?
For sure.
To give you the pat on the back, it ain't like, I'm gonna repeat this. It's not like you're doing it for the praise, but you need your flowers and your encouragement so you can be full and prepared to encourage somebody else. Because when you
Absolutely.
get weak, who's gonna help us out? So we
For sure.
gotta encourage the encouragers, man. And that's what I want
For
to
sure.
leave you with, man. I want to encourage you. I want to thank you. I know the Most High is looking at you. I know He's pleased with the work that you're doing. You know, I can't speak
Appreciate
for
that.
for God, but I'm just saying, most likely He's proud and encouraged by what you're doing. Not encouraged, but He's pleased with the work you're doing. So I say, continue to do the work you're doing, man. Continue to bless the community. Continue to be an example, right, to our youth, man.
For sure, man. I definitely will. And like I said, I appreciate you for just having a platform and allowing people to share their stories, man. I think that's definitely important. So from one brother to the next, man, keep doing what you do. God sees you. He loves you. He appreciates you. He appreciates you as well.
We're gonna end it. I know you got stuff to do, man. We're gonna clap you up. We thank you for this interview. I'm gonna clap you up. But before I let you go, you gotta give us one more word. Go ahead, dig in that bag a little bit deeper and give us one more phrase or encouragement. Give us some words, my brother.
Okay. Um, they want us just to stick to the norm. No matter the forecast, prepare for the storm. Conditioning is everything. This world that we live in, the visions of making it. They want us in the prison. They say drugs being sold, pills being popped, youngest building Tetris nowadays on the block. The money got to be made, but rolling loud, real live, how you stuck in the maze. You build your resume, you make more than minimum wage or no law, or they throw you in a cage. GPS yourself without the ways in. When you read a book, take your time with the page. P's and Q's, stay on your toes, know your worth, your friends and your foes. I hope you got it down packed so you won't fail. And pardon me, just the story I tell. Grind hard, dream big, harder you grind, bigger you dream, empowering our youth through positive words and positive actions, being who I needed when I was younger, but but most importantly, being who God called me to be. If God can use me, God can use you too.
And that's a fact. We appreciate you, man. I'm gonna clap you up, man. Excuse me. I want to thank our guests, man. Those who peeped in and peeped out. Um, I'm almost certain that this won't be the last time. I might can even come on, to check you out over there. But you
For
don't do
sure.
virtual. You don't do virtual at all, do you?
I do lives. I could do lives. We could do lives for sure.
Okay. So that could be an option. There ain't no rush. I know you got a lot on your plate. Continue to do what you do. Go and take some time, man. When you out there at the game, I know it's indoor, but you still got to drive there. Stay
Oh
hydrated.
yeah, now for sure. I'd
You
make
know
sure
what
I have my
I'm saying?
water on me.
For real.
For
And make
sure.
sure them kids stay hydrated too, man.
Oh yeah, nah. We made sure of that for sure, man. We're gonna stand on business. I appreciate you.
Listen, man, from one brother to another, brother, I think you're a real brother. I appreciate you. I can sincerely say I love you, man, just for the work you're doing. Don't even know you like that, but to be like-minded, we in this battle together, man, because we got to
For
save
sure.
our youth, man,
For sure,
because
man.
they need us. But go ahead, you got a lot on your plate, man. You handling a lot. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Love. Appreciate you. Appreciate
All
y'all. Thank y'all.
right. Man, listen, man, I thank y'all, man, for the continued support. I thank y'all for the support, man. But we had my brother JayFlow, and he came and he dropped some knowledge and let us know that the work that he's doing in the community for our young people. We need people like him, man. So today was a blessing, man. If you didn't catch the live, man, I hope that you are able to catch the replay. This was a blessing, man. This was a blessing. Anybody that's working with our youth or helping our youth, I'm with that. I'm all with that, man. But like I said, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Anybody got any closing thoughts or any questions for me in the comment section? Anybody got any those closing thoughts or questions in the comment? Make sure you like the video too, man. Make sure to like the video. We just had the brother JayFlow here, man. He gave us a lot of information, told us how he's working with the community and all that good stuff. Anybody got any closing thoughts or comments, man? Make sure you like the video. If you have not done it, subscribe to the channel, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I make a video. I had to do it earlier today because of his scheduling. He got a lot on his plate, so I had to accommodate for him. But like I said, I appreciate y'all continued support, man. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Anybody got any closing comments before I close out? Anybody got any closing comments before I close out, man? Go and like the video, man. Make sure you like the video. No closing comments. Y'all were amazing. I thank y'all. Thank y'all for being respectful. Y'all are appreciated, man. Have a good day and enjoy your weekend. Until next time, man, y'all be safe. Peace.